Let's bring her in now. Gold medalist, silver medalist, bronze medalist, the one, the only, Carmelita Jeter. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
And like I said, you did it all in those games. But I want to go back a couple years, and I want to go back to 2008, because what happened in 2008 may be the reason you did so well in 2012. You failed to qualify for the Olympics in 2008. How much did that failure help you in 2012?
Oh, it helped me so much. You know, they always say everything happens for a reason, and I didn't make the team in 2008, and that caused me to change coaches. So I got a chance to go with my coach, John Smith, and my attitude changed. I looked at the sport more as my career instead of just something I was doing. So, you know, I was upset at the moment that I didn't make the team, but that energy just fueled me to be as productive as I was up to 2012.
Was it 4 long years?
You know, I needed that fuel, though. You know, sometimes you need something to push you into the right direction. And so I don't regret not making the team in 2008. I definitely think it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And it showed up in 2012, 2011, 2010. I've had amazing years since 2008, and I definitely owe it to not making the team in 2008.
And let's start with the 100 now at the Olympics. I mean, you would get the silver medal in that particular race, a very close race. Looking back at that race, and I mean, as we know, a very close race, is there anything you could have done differently to get the gold?
You know, you can always say, I should have did this, I could have done that. And, you know, when you're in the heat of the battle, it is what it is. You know, you go out there and you give it your all. When I crossed the finish line, I gave it everything I had, so I couldn't be upset. But, you know, of course, you always think if there's something that you possibly could have done a little better. But, you know, that was the medal that God provided me. And I'm pleased with my medal. I'm very gracious to get my medal. So, you know, I take it as that was my first Olympics. I got a silver medal, and I have nothing to be upset about.
And let's go to the 200-meter now. You were very successful in there, and you were looking to make history in this particular event. Ultimately, you would get the bronze medal in this race, and you would become the first woman since FloJo in 1988 to medal in the 100 and the 200. How much does that feat mean to you? How big is that for you?
You know, it was amazing. You know, even to just have my name somewhere near FloJo's name. You know, we're all trying to run that 10-4, but for people to say, oh, she's done something that's only been done since FloJo is amazing. You know, Florence Griffith-Joyner was an amazing athlete, and she's somebody that I'm like, I would love, you know, to run 10-4 or to have her name and then my name next to it. So that was definitely an accomplishment. To hear people say that it hasn't been done since FloJo.
And how difficult of a feat is that to medal in both the 100 and the 200? Kind of put it in perspective for us.
You know, it's definitely, you know, hard to medal in 2 events because you have to train differently. You know, you just can't focus on one race. You know, if you're running the 200, you have to, like, run a little longer than as if you were running the 100. So it's not as easy as everyone thinks it is, because once you come back from one race, you have to mentally gear up all over again. You know, you don't just get to lay down and watch the rest of the races. I got one day in between there to really just decompress, get my mind back together, and go out and hit it all over again. So it's not easy. I'm sure it looks easy from television, but when you're in that fire, it's not easy at all.
We're talking to gold medalist, silver medalist, and bronze medalist from the 2012 Olympics, Carmelita Jeter. And now let's go to that record-setting performance in the 4x100 relay. I mean, before you got the baton, did you sense that you guys were on a record-setting pace?
Yes, I did. I was the anchor leg, so it's also the most stressful leg because you get to see everybody else, you know. And the whole time I'm standing there, I'm just praying, please just let us get this stick around, you know. And Tiana Madison ran first leg, and she ran an amazing first leg. Then she passes it off to Allison Felix, and that pass was so emotional because you can see Tiana screaming at Felix. and then Felix flying down the back stretch. And when she's passing it to Bianca Knight, if you guys watch it, she's screaming at Bianca Knight. So every exchange was so emotional. And as I'm watching Bianca bring it to me, and I'm giving her the hand gesture, like, just give it to me, baby, just give it to me. And when she gave me that stick, and I'm flying down the home stretch, I'm looking at the clock, and I see 36, and I'm saying to myself, oh, it's going down. I see 36, I see 37, I see 38. I already knew it was over. Before I crossed the finish line, I already wanted to start pointing, but I didn't want to get ahead of myself.
Right.
So I waited till I at least put my foot down on the line, and I said, oh, it's over. I knew it was over. I knew we broke that world record.
And I look at that image of you pointing it to me. That was one of the images, one of the most poignant images of these Olympics. I mean, that was a big-time moment. You got to get a picture of that on your wall.
You know, so many people have sent me pictures on my phone because I'm not yet home yet. I'm still overseas.
Okay.
And they're sending me pictures of newspapers and the front page of pictures, and it's all that one shot of me pointing. And so what I did at the Village, they had this photo place where you could get photos made and collages made. And I went there and I got some stuff made for my grandparents, of course. And in one of their shots, it's going to be a picture of me pointing at the world record. So the photo is amazing. I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great, great photo and one of the greatest moments, I think, of those 2012 Olympics. And this was your first trip to the Olympics now. Was it better than you expected?
It was all that I expected.
Okay.
It was all that I expected. I knew that this Olympics was going to be great. You know, this year I lost my aunt to breast cancer, and before she passed, I told her that I was going there. And so for me to get there and to see everything that I saw, it was something I had already pictured. I already felt like I had been there. So it was everything that I had wished for. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
And just kind of give us a sense for the Olympics. I mean, a lot of us won't get there. You've been there. This was your first trip. Give us a sense of the Olympics, just being around it.
It's so much energy because when you run at World Championships, it's only the track team. But when you run at the Olympics, you have the basketball team, the soccer team, the gymnastics team, the swimming team. There's so many Olympians around. There's so many people around, and the energy, the vibe that you get is absolutely amazing. As soon as you walk into the Village, it's just different. Everything's different. You're seeing different countries walk around. You're checking out different uniforms. You know, the media there is totally different because there's so much media and so much press. So much security, like it's ridiculous. At one point, I was getting upset, like, "Hey, I'm staying in here. Why am I going through?" You know, so it was an experience. It was like going to the White House.
Wow!
And,
wow!
You know, it was so hard to get to one place. You know, my publicist would always think that it was easy for me to get somewhere to do something, and I would tell them, "No, it's not. It's going to take me about an hour and a half to get over there." When it was like a 5-minute walk. Like, that's how so much security it was. It was amazing. And to be able to go to other events, like I saw my first swimming, you know, I went to swimming for the first time. That was amazing to be able to sit in the same section as the swimmers, or I went to the gymnastics where the team won the gold. I was there. It was awesome to watch those girls do that floor, and the floor was going to make or break if they won the gold. And you would have thought that we were sitting there as if we knew these girls, like we were screaming, hollering, "Gabby, let's go!" It was amazing. It was an energy that you actually had to be at to really get the whole.
And did you get over to the basketball? I know your brother is Pooh Jeter. Did you get over to see any basketball?
When I was so mad about it, what happened was even the women's basketball I didn't get to see because they played so late. They played at 10 o'clock at night because I guess they wanted to show the television at home. So whenever they played, I would always have to run the next day. So I wasn't able to check them out at all. And I was really bummed about that because I really wanted to see the women do their thing, and I wanted to see the men do their thing. And my brother was in London supporting me, so he was going to the basketball game.
Okay.
And he was, Peter, are you coming? I was like, I can't. They're too late because the games were like from 10 to 12.
Right.
And, about to back to the village and you're going through security, it's about 1:30. So it was possible for me to make the men's or the women's basketball game. So I was really upset about that. But I got a chance to check out swimming, Cullen Jones, Ryan Locke, and some other people, which was great. And I got a chance to check out gymnastics. So it wasn't too bad.
So who is the greatest athlete in the Jeter household?
The greatest athlete, all good. We play different sports. So, since we play different sports, you can kind of like separate us. I grew up playing basketball. We all did. We grew up in a basketball house. That's what we did. Saturdays, we played pickup games in the front yard. I was the only girl out there. It was, drinking out the water hose. That's what we did on Saturday. And I didn't start running track until high school. But, we play different sports. Cool. The baller now, and I'm the runner. So, we're both doing well. I'm very proud of my younger brother. We're both blessed. And, we always give God all the glory and all the praise. And so we're just blessed to be where we are, and we're happy that parents get to walk around with this Kool-Aid smile on their face all the time. They did so much for us and sacrificed so much for us, so this is our payback to them.
Definitely. We're talking to Olympic track star Carmelita Jeter. And looking back on the Olympics, what was the greatest moment for you?
The greatest moment for me, the moment that I remember that was really emotional, and it touched me more so because, like I said, I lost my aunt this year, was walking in the opening ceremony. Because it was off of the Olympics, and she would have been there if she had not passed, and since she couldn't be there, her daughter came instead. And it was probably the best moment because I told her I was going to make it, and I did.
Right.
So walking in that stadium, I had tears running down my face because it was so emotional. It was really, really emotional. Now, on the sports side, me pointing at the world record was definitely, but me walking to that stadium for the first time, knowing that I kept a promise that I made to her, was hands down the best moment of London 2012.
And let's look at you right now. You're 32 years old. When the next Olympics comes around, you'll be 36. Will we see you in 2016?
I'll be 35.
35, okay.
Listen now, I'll be 35. Don't be pushing me up there too much. Will you see me? I definitely plan to be in Rio, without a doubt. I have no intentions on leaving anytime soon. People keep asking me, when am I going to retire, when I'm going to retire. I love to compete. I love the competition. I enjoy when that gun clicks. So when I don't love what I do is when I'll retire. Okay.
And you don't see that happen in the next 4 years?
That happened in the next 4 years.
And what about in terms of endorsements now? I mean, you were very successful at the Olympics. Anything going to happen in terms of endorsement things? Are you working on some things?
Oh, I leave that in the hands of my PR of EMGA Global. That's their job. My job is to run on the track, run hot times, and get the medals. And I leave the paperwork job and the endorsement jobs to, the people that do that best. But, I'm hoping for more endorsements. It'll be great to get more endorsements. But, God's going to give me everything that he feels I need.
And I got a perfect endorsement job for you. I was looking at your hair, and the first thing that kind of came to my mind was dark and lovely. What do you think?
That too. I should be on a perm kit myself. That I should definitely be on some type of perm kit, dark and lovely, lustrous, pink oil, you name it, I should be there. I definitely feel like my face belongs on a box.
And yeah, I know you have a website. Where can fans connect with you on that website?
You can connect with me at CarmelitaJeter.com, or I'm on Twitter, at Carmelita Jeter.
And again, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. Let's do it again.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great day.